everyone, and welcome back to Arguably Speaking. And today we have a very special guest.
Dun, dun, dun.
You can introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Kade.
And
I'm glad to be here.
this is our first guest on the podcast.
Yay! He's a very special guest,
Thank
which is
you.
why he gets to
Thank
be
you.
first.
I get to be first.
And a very dear friend of ours.
Aw, thank you.
And also is a really, really large reason why we have created this podcast to begin with.
Yeah, I was there when you guys were coming up with the idea.
The conception of the plan.
Yeah. I think your name was mentioned in the first episode.
We definitely
Kate helped
mentioned
with some of the name brainstorming.
Yeah. I was present during this situation.
Yeah, no, there are definitely some names I
that
feel
made
like
my
that you came up with.
spiked. My laugh is a little aggressive.
Oh, don't you worry.
No, everyone's laugh is aggressive.
Okay.
It
That's
will always
just how
be
the
that.
microphone
Wow.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Kade's getting used to our setup.
I'm just-
because we're real professional now.
super elaborate.
Sarah just got us a new microphone that's
Yay,
ours.
for Kiera's birthday, which, oh my gosh, speak
Happy
of the day,
birthday.
it's Kiera's birthday right now. In
Not when
this
you're listening to
current,
this, though.
in this current time that we're living in.
Hence why I'm here.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that is why Kade came out to visit. And so we've been doing lots of fun things, mostly related to hosting a wonderful party, which
Yes.
we will talk about in a little bit.
Yes.
But yes, Kiera turned 23 today.
Yeah, and now I'm older.
So old.
I was like, do you feel transformed?
Yeah.
Okay. You've been rejuvenated.
Yeah, honestly, I've never felt younger.
Wow.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Aging backwards.
Really?
Really.
The time just stops when you stop counting. Kate being here is actually a really great segue into our topic of the podcast.
Yes.
Which, if you listen to an episode or two, you've heard this phrase before, is long distance friendshipping.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Which I did not think was a real word, but maybe it is now. You know?
I was like, have you checked Urban
I have
Dictionary?
not.
Because there
I have
is
not looked
probably
it up.
it's probably there.
It was funny because you just kept on saying it, and then I was like, maybe I'm like gaslighting myself into thinking that it's a fake word.
Well, I feel like it could be like hyphenated, like
Friendship.
shipping.
Oh.
Like you just said, like you're shipping your friends
From
somewhere.
a really far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in a nice little
yeah.
box. Just put me in a nice little
if it
box.
fits, it ships. If it fits, it ships.
I think I'd be a little bit
Long
of a bigger
distance
box.
friend shipping. Yeah, no, that's too fair.
Yeah,
Too fair. You'd
that's
be saving
true.
a lot of money though.
I
Paying
would.
for
Someone-
you as like a weight shipping.
Oh, but weight shipping? Yeah.
Wait, it's yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but those.
Yeah.
If you try to send those, like they're so expensive.
Yeah.
I don't
Shipping is really expensive
It
these
is so
days.
It really is. It's
ow! All the
taxes.
shipping. It's
It
so
can be
hard.
it can be so fast, and then other times
Yeah.
it's so because like this microphone, I totally ordered it like 3 months ago because I care about Kiera and I plan things out. And it shipped in a day,
Yeah.
which is wild.
Yeah.
So wild.
So
And by she bought it 3 months ago, she bought it like
yesterday.
I did buy it
While
yesterday.
you were running around.
Well, because I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get you a present because I like have money now for
Yeah.
the first
You're
time.
not broke.
I always
Fully.
make excuses that I can't get people gifts, or I make people gifts. Like I've made you a gift, yeah. Like you know, I don't know, but I was like, no, Sarah being better at gift giving starts now. Yesterday, but like the actual giving was
Today.
about, yeah, 10 minutes ago. But anyways, long distance friendshipping.
Like that's. I feel like it's crazy because most of like our friendship has been long distance friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not quite there yet,
Yeah.
but it will be at some point, probably, maybe. We don't know.
We all became friends in high school. Kate was a part of show choir with us.
Love.
And all of some of our theater endeavors.
Yeah.
Some of, yeah.
One. And
I was about to say he was
What,
only in
one?
the musical.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I said some.
Where was your
No,
love
it's fair.
interest? And I also got you
Oh,
pregnant,
man.
but we don't worry about that.
Oh my gosh.
What?
They couldn't get married because I was unmarried. No, it's really because Ashton was unmarried. I was just the solution to the problem. I'm explaining the plot of our musical.
Yeah, this is not real.
By the way, we got
I've
something.
never had a child.
We've never had a child.
If that was your guys' way of telling me. Let's record an episode. So, Sarah.
Surprise!
We have something to tell you. We are pregnant. What?
Oh my
What?
god.
That would be
insane.
I
That
would,
would be
actually
wild.
lose my mind.
I would lose my mind.
I'd be happy for you, but
Yeah.
so confused.
So confused. Like the timing would be so interesting.
Well, because we have been long distance friendshiping.
Yeah,
Bring it back.
as we said.
We're bringing it back.
Bring it back now, y'all.
Because
Why
we are
not
trying
this
to make
time?
our episodes not 2 hours long anymore.
Right.
We'll see how
see.
it goes. But yeah, essentially, when we all graduated from high school, we were in 3 different states.
Yeah.
So Sarah was in Nebraska, Kiera, me, was in Arizona, and Kade was in Colorado.
Yeah.
And man, also 3 different time zones,
I was about to say.
Yeah.
which is rough too.
Annoying.
Annoying, yeah. But through it all, we visited each other. I think I've seen you at least twice a year, every year since high school.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, that's a huge commitment.
To travel states.
Yeah.
You know?
And plan things out.
And it's always nice because I get nervous that like when I see you guys and I haven't seen you in 6 months, it'll be weird. But it's never
Yeah.
weird.
It's never
It's
weird.
so nice.
Yeah, it was interesting because the first time I went to Nebraska to visit you, we spent a day just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And it was weird because like I had never realized we'd only spent time as
A
a
trio.
throuple.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and not
No,
as
it's
just
true.
just two folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was like I was like, this how weird is this
It
gonna
was-
be just the
yeah.
2 of us? But then I was like, oh, it's like I felt like that was a moment that like I was like, okay. Like it's not just like me, Kiera and Sarah, it's like me and Sarah, me and Kiera, me, Kiera and Sarah as 3.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree completely. And I was also nervous about hosting
Yeah.
you, so it's nice that we were both nervous.
I bet we both were like,
That's
ooh.
great. Well, because like,
And then we saw goats, and I met all your friends.
yeah, oh my
That
gosh.
was-
Wait, was
Oh my
I?
gosh.
Did I come later?
Yeah, you came the next
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
So one of my Frisbee teammates' mom has a goat rescue.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
Kade was visiting, and we were doing like a bonding event, like a team
Yeah.
bonding event at this goat rescue. And I just brought Kade along.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of friend that we are.
Yeah.
I was just like,
like-
hey, this thing's happening. It sounds fun. You're cool. They're cool.
Yeah.
You'll be cool together with goats.
With goats?
With goats.
It was fun.
I have a lot of photos from that.
Yeah.
Like an aggressive amount of photos of like me and a goat being like,
Okay, you
You're
could
like,
just, you could just scoop them up. You could
They-
just
yeah,
scoop 'em
yeah,
up,
they were small
and they were
enough.
okay. Cute.
yeah.
Did you know in 8th grade, me and my friends, we almost purchased a baby goat together? Because
Wait, what?
it was only $80 for a baby goat.
Wow.
I think there were 8 of us,
Wow.
and so we were
It
each
was
like,
like $10.
we could each pitch in $10 and buy this goat. And our friend has a farm, and
Nice.
she can have the goat live on her farm mostly.
And
It
you guys
was-
could all just come and take care of it and pet the baby
Yeah,
goat.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it was
so funny.
thwarted at the very end by like our parents. But it was close. Like the thing is, we could have handed over the money.
You could have just handed over money and bought him a goat.
That's so wild.
Like our mistake for telling the parents.
Wow,
that
you
it
guys
got
should have
us.
just done it, and then you should have just like let the goat roam the property, and they were like, "What?
what?
What?
They were
How
like,
did this goat
they'd be
get
like-
here? It's wild because like to adopt a dog or a cat, like people check you out. Like
Yeah.
they're like, will this dog have a nice home? Like, are you a decent person? You could just take a goat.
Yeah.
Like no one would. They'd be like, oh, money? Yes. You know, and you could just
Yeah.
go.
That's the same with like ducks and chickens and stuff.
Okay.
Because I don't know why this is just Kiera getting animals now, but for Easter one year, my dad got me 2 baby chicks.
Oh gosh.
Oh, really?
I
You need stuff for that.
Yeah, he gave me a box with 2 chicks. I think I named one Peep and one Jet,
Oh.
and they were great.
That's
and
so
then like
cute.
I was like, what do I do with it now?
This is fun, but like,
One of them sadly passed away, like fairly early
was
on in
it
his
Peep
life.
or Jet?
It was Peep.
Aw.
And then my other friend who had a farm.
How many friends do you have with farms, Kiera?
All of my friends have farms.
Is this a, what am I trying to say?
You're a farm.
Is this your type? Your friendshipping type?
You kind of have a farm.
You
To be fair,
kind
yeah.
of have a farm.
I do.
And I lived near Mary's farm.
You
Oh,
did.
I was in Fickle Farm. Can you tell that we lived in a rural area?
Yeah.
Anyways, Jet went to go live with my friend at her farm.
That's great.
And Jet was not liked by the other chickens, so the other chickens like killed him.
Oh no. That's so
They
sad.
murdered a
Yes.
chicken murderer?
That's so
They're-
sad.
Yeah,
They'll do that. They're like
they
chickens
pecked
are
him to
bullies.
death.
Are they bullies?
It was
Yeah.
horrible.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
like
I was so sad.
That's super sad.
all I can think of is like the Legend of Zelda, and if you guys don't know what this is, but anyway, if you attack a chicken, all of the chickens come and kill you. They don't rest until you leave town, or they kill you.
So they're like a
or you enter a
slide.
building.
Wow.
Like they will come and they'll take you down. A mafia.
No, if you
The
kicked a
mafia.
chicken in real life and it was like wounded, maybe the other chickens would try and eat
They
it.
might.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cannibalistic chickens are real.
And I'm not an expert, but that's my opinion.
I'm not an expert.
I'm not an expert with chickens, but I do know a thing or two about picking up a chick. Just kidding. That was just a really bad
I
joke.
mean,
No, that was good. I think that was good comedic timing.
Nice. Tick, tick. But anyways, we were thinking for today's long distance friendshipping episode that we'd share a couple of stories about like things and adventures that we've had
Yeah.
when visiting each
like
other.
the goats. Like
yeah,
the goats.
like the goats.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
Because we've traveled near and far.
it's
Across-
true.
Car and plane.
Trains. I
And
took the
trains.
trains. And we've covered oceans and seas,
Literally.
like
So far.
countries and
So
more.
far. Yeah. It's been good. I don't know, do you guys have like a favorite one that you want to start with? Because I have two very like Arizona stories that I've
Yeah.
already discussed with
I
you.
feel
that
like
think
I feel like
should
just
be
get the
shared.
big one.
Okay.
Let's just do the
We're
big
gonna
one.
start with a bang. I think we
Okay.
should start with
I love it.
the story.
Yay.
And then you will have the tone will really be set because this was one of our earliest traveling.
This was the.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it was well because
Unless you
did
went
we
and
visit
visited
each
her.
other? No,
That was the
You-
freshman
first fall
year.
break of my freshman year. I went back and saw my parents instead.
Okay.
Because every other fall break, I went and visited Kiera.
Aw.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was to set the scene a little bit. The world is shutting down because COVID is happening.
Yeah.
And at this point, I didn't really know much about COVID, and it was just all strange things were happening at once.
Yeah.
Basically, we were told, like, okay, we're going to take this break and be online, and then obviously it panned out, okay, nope, we're not coming back in person to school. What's done is done. However, for my school, they did it a little bit late. They did it earlier in other places. And so Kade and Sarah both were like free of in-person obligation.
Yeah.
And I was like, shoot, I need to move out of my dorm right
Yeah.
now. I don't have a car. I am in Arizona and I am not exactly sure what to do right now.
And I had just quit my job because I thought I was gonna move, and I got scammed out of my money. So
yeah.
I was completely free. I was like, you need help?
Hey.
Let's do it. And
I'm
then
available.
you
Yeah,
must
no.
have come home
I
too.
had been sent home earlier than Kiera because I had spring break right when everything was really starting to
Yeah.
shut down, and they were like, "Hey, instead of you going on spring break and then coming back or something like that, it was like you're gonna go on spring break a week early." Have 2 weeks, and then maybe you'll come back after this blows over. And we were kind of, me and my parents at least, were like, that's not what's gonna happen. So we just moved out. I got all of my stuff and moved out the week before my spring break was supposed to happen, which I think was a week or two earlier than yours.
Yeah, just because I had a later spring break. But regardless, I was like, yay, you both are free. And you know what sounds like a really fun thing to do? Drive all the way down to Arizona and help me move out.
14 hours of driving.
Yeah.
It is from, where we live to Tucson, Arizona. It's 14.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's technically 13 and a half if you don't stop at all.
Yeah.
Which didn't happen.
Which
No,
there's
we stopped.
no physical way to
Yeah.
not do that because you need to get gas
Gas.
at the very
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
Even if you're eating in the car and
Have
being
a
as
diaper.
efficient
Yeah.
as possible.
Yeah.
I also had just gotten a new car, and I didn't know how many miles it could go, which is why we stopped so many times.
I honestly, Kade, I do not remember much
We
of
we
that
talked
first drive.
so
We chatted.
long. We talked for like 8 hours straight, which was why you also were like dying and
Yeah.
losing your voice on the way.
Oh my god.
I lost my voice so badly, you guys. It was so embarrassing. And like for each time that I visited Kiera after that in Arizona, I also didn't have a voice. And it was like, haha, this is so funny. But also, why do I just always sound like I'm dying? Like your college friends genuinely don't know what I sound like because I just could never speak. It's wild.
But so they get down to Arizona and I'm like, yay,
Yeah.
I've done like as much packing as I can. I got a storage unit, but some stuff I wanted to bring back to Colorado. So, I was like, look, this is the campus. It's dead. Again, this is early in COVID. So we didn't really have, masks and like true lockdown yet because we were confused about what, like the real laws, not laws, but the real,
Like best practices weren't implemented or like developed even.
Yeah, it was just such a weird time, and we were all very confused. But I showed you guys around, and we started slowly taking things to the storage unit.
We watched High School
and
Musical, the musical series.
Season 1,
Season 1.
which is a very important thing. Because
As a tangent, we have to address
as a
this.
tangent, we just finished High School Musical, the musical, the series, season 4 today, right before filming this.
And it was emotional.
And I cried.
I was crying.
It was kind of a weird ending of the era. Like we were really sad, but we're still friends.
Like our show isn't ending, but their
Our life is
show
just-
was, and we were a part of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
And it was like a special thing that we reserved to like see in person. Like
Yeah.
no matter what, we are sitting and watching this
Yeah.
in person, or like real time.
Yeah. I think so. It was like season 2 or something. When
Yeah,
we watched
One
like
of the seasons we like
the last
finished.
couple episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
finished a season when we weren't in the same room. But every time that we visited each other, we watched this show.
Yeah.
And it was really beautiful.
And so this was the start of that as well. But
Exactly.
it was a pretty quick turnaround trip because we needed to get back to Colorado. And we also were like, there is disease going around everywhere. We should probably
Well, and like
Go.
my parents didn't want to let me go because they were afraid that we were gonna get like stuck in a state, like the borders would close or whatever. You know,
Wow.
like there was an immense amount of convincing that went into letting me go on this trip.
which I did not realize. I don't know why in my head I was like, this is a brilliant idea. I think it was just because I was like, who of the people I know is willing to help me right now?
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I need help.
You sold it to me as the like, this is the senior year road trip that we never really went on.
Yeah. There was
I
that
didn't.
too.
I was really selling stuff. I really just said, "This is great for you," but mostly me, but you. But we are on like the last tail end of packing, because we were gonna drive all the way through. We have 3 people. We can drive in one day, even if we're getting a little bit of a later start. Doesn't matter how late we get in. We were planning to run to the storage locker just one last time, put the last bits of things in, and then leave.
Yes.
But
And then.
And then, so yeah, Kade is like, you're in the building. I'm pretty sure.
No. I remember watching this happen.
Oh, okay.
I
Never mind.
remember vividly.
So
being there.
Kira was there. Okay. So we're parked on the side of the road and outside of this dorm building, and Kira and Kate are like gonna go grab one more thing, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll come with you, right? Get out of the car.
We're
and
all
I
exiting the car together.
close the car door. on my finger. This is my it's my ring finger on my right hand.
Yeah.
And so I like close the door, right? And I'm on this side, and Kiera and Kade are already like kind of walking away.
Yeah.
Right.
But
and
no. I remember being like, oh my god, like, because you were being very weirdly chill for a second, because I think you were in shock. You were like, guys, Kade, open the door, because the door locked. The door locked, and we needed Kade to open it, and I was there, like, looking at it, and I was like,
my finger is like in the crevice of the door and the wall. Yeah. And so then Kade unlocked the door really fast, thank you, and we undid it, and my finger's just sitting there, and it's just like a little L, like, but it's just the final joint.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't the whole finger, it was just the very tip, and it was just like bent. It's still like a little bent backwards, to be fair. It's just got like a little happy woo. But yeah.
But one thing we've never really discussed is how Kade was handling this, because I remember my like time in the story. I don't know how your time was at this moment.
I had literally no idea what was going on. Like, I saw, because like you were like, open the door, and I was like, for what? So I was like, oh, she forgot something? Like, okay, I'll open the door. And then like it wasn't until like I actually saw your finger, like, and not just like briefly, but like stared at it and was like, oh, there's like something wrong going on.
Really not how it's supposed to look.
Why your finger looking like that?
Yeah. And so in this moment, I'm like, oh my god, we need to go to like urgent care, we need to go to the hospital, we need to go to the emergency room. But also remember, pandemic is starting. Mm-hmm. So I was like, is anything even open right now? Are they accepting walk-ins? How is this working? And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to run to the front desk lady in the dorm, because obviously she's gonna know. I don't know why. Anyways, I'm running to do this because I'm panicked. I've never dealt with injuries like this. I'm gonna run, and I talked to her. She's like, "Yes, just go, run as fast as you can," because like my friend just slammed her hand in the car door. We gotta go, and she was like, "Great, you're set. They're open." And so as I'm running out the door, they're kind of like the modern doors where. I just am trying to justify.
You know how doors are.
You know how
they
doors
open.
have hinges on one side and like they open on the other side.
Yeah, like you like.
It's kind of like a wall, and it's only attached on one side.
And so instead of pushing on the side that like opens, I push on the side that has the hinges, and I smack my head really, really, really hard on the metal door frame and yell a very loud expletive that maybe I won't say right now. And my head starts like profusely bleeding.
Yeah.
An expletive that was so loud that Kade and I heard it, and we were like, what could be worse? Like, why? How could this get...
But I come running out to Kade and Sarah, and they just see me like kind of dripping blood. And I'm like, okay, urgent care is open. We can go. And as we're there,
wait, hold on. There's one more part, because do you remember the woman?
Yeah, that's what I
Okay. We were, because Kade, so I'm just sitting there like holding my finger as high as I can above my head, because I'm like, when something hurts, you hold it above your heart so it doesn't get blood. Like, I was like, my mother has taught me well. And so I'm just standing here like this, and Kade's like, I'm also here? I don't know.
I was just standing. I was like, what is going on?
And Kiera runs out, and she's just like, blood. Right? And this woman, I don't even know.
Well, what she ran up to me, she was like, oh my god, I just saw you hit your head, and like I'm trying to move my son out right now, but like I have some old spare bandages from the car, and I thought that you might want them. They're probably not gonna stick or anything, but like maybe they'll soak up some of the blood. And I was like, thank you, ma'am. I'm okay. Like, we just need to go to the hospital or wherever.
We need to go to the emergency.
We need to go to one of the Medicare.
What is it called? Urgent
facilities.
care. Urgent care.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, good, go to urgent care. And I'm just like sitting in the back of this car being like, we are going to urgent care for me, not for her. I am the real one in pain here.
And we make Kade as our getaway driver because
So
Kade
true.
is the only one not injured at this
This
point.
is hard.
And I was like, drive. And I don't know what you were thinking.
Yeah. I mean, I was just like, okay, I guess this is happening. There wasn't a lot going on in my brain during most of this time. I was just like, oh, this is what life is.
Why? And so, thankfully, on a college campus, they plan for college kids to be dumb, and the urgent care isn't very far away.
Yeah.
So we pull up, and Kade comes in with us.
Yeah, I
Kade
come
comes
with
in
you.
with us
Yeah.
for the first part. And we walk in. I was like, I am not the one that needs help. You need to fix her finger. I do not want to pay for this. Please do not look at me.
He was like, don't give me anything I have to pay for.
I really do not want to pay a single dime at urgent care right now for a simple injury, as my head is very much still profusely bleeding. Because it looks like, it's just Sarah's, finger. So it's not, a noticeable thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I,
It's on your face.
have blood everywhere.
Well, and then it was really odd because we were still in our heads we were like, we can totally still leave on time. If Kade goes back and finishes the last few bits and bobs to go to the storage unit on your own, we can still leave in an hour and a half.
Yeah,
or
we
something.
can.
Well, all we had was what was in your apartment.
Yeah, which
Because
is
we had
not
already
much.
taken everything before. Because we were because it was literally we drove it back because we came back from the storage unit. So that was it.
There you go.
We were so close to being home free. There was not much left at all.
No.
But so we send Kade. Well, he stays with us for a second to get us checked in. They hand Sarah an ice pack, and they're like, "Do you want one too?" And I was like, "Do I have to pay for it?"
Do I have to pay for it?
And they're like, "No, take the ice pack, you idiot." And so I take the ice pack. It's very important to remember that Sarah has injured her right hand.
Yeah. Well, okay, but first we send Kade away.
Yeah. Kade,
I was like, you know what?
also, Kade was like, "I need a dip."
I was like, y'all are a hot mess, and so I was like,
But we're hot.
and I was also like, I was like, okay, we got to get out here. I'm also getting hungry. I need. I'm starving, and I feel like we just need to get on the road, and it doesn't matter, and whatever this is, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's hop to it, and so I leave you guys. I'm like, okay, well, I'll come back later. I'll pick you up.
Come back later.
And so I end up going back to her apartment, to her dorm room, and packing up everything on my own.
Okay, most of it was already
Most
packed.
of it was already packed.
wasn't
I just
that-
had to move the boxes and stuff downstairs.
Yeah.
And that was. I think the only thing I didn't move was plants or something.
Which
'Cause
I
was
instructed you not to.
yeah, I was like, and you were like, do not move my plants or crush them. And I was like, okay.
I will get you.
Oh my
to
gosh.
do.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so Kade has left the building. Sarah and I are injured and still trying to function. And this is about the time that the crying set in because we were holding it together really well for a while.
So good.
But
yeah, so like Kiera was saying, it was my ring finger on my right hand, right? And so they're like, here, fill out these forms. And I go to grab the pen, and then I just start laughing because I'm like, I can't fill this out. Like, are you stupid, medical person? Like, don't you see? And so the laughing turned into crying.
And I also started laughing and crying at the same time, and I was like, give it to me. And I'm holding the ice pack with my shoulder but also I have two functioning hands, and we're both crying and laughing. And Sarah's on the phone with her parents so she can get insurance info and stuff like that. And I'm just like, Sarah, can you tell me your social security number right now?
I'm like, I need you to tell me the insurance number. And then my dad's telling it to me, and I'm crying. And then I'm telling it to Kiera, and she's crying
And writing.
and bleeding profusely from her head. It was the most ridiculous thing.
It was so much more
But yeah.
blood for such a small actual
Cause whatever
gash.
on your head, it's just
Yeah.
blood, you know?
It really wasn't that bad.
It was terrible, you guys. There was a puddle. They got her a bucket and a mop. That's anyways, moving forward.
And
But
so it did
Also,
take a minute.
I told Kiera, like, I thought I knew my social security number. I was wrong.
It was the wrong social security
I was
number.
wrong. I was only off by 1 digit. And to be fair, not the most important digit. It wasn't in the last 4. But it was fine. Literally fine. Also, urgent care? Very loosely. very, like,
There are no
in
urgents about it.
what meaning of the word urgent?
Yeah.
It felt very slowly paced.
Yeah. It was like, oh, you're here. Here's some paperwork. Go
Yeah.
sit over there.
And we had to sit and wait, and there was nobody else there.
Literally. It's like, what are the doctors? I don't know.
I was like, there's clearly an issue that needs to be addressed right now.
Yeah.
But finally, they take you in.
Yeah.
And I go to the bathroom to, like, clean myself
Freshen up.
Also, where else am I gonna go? I don't have a car anymore. Again,
You're just
no
stuck.
car.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm just waiting for Sarah. And
Yeah.
then Sarah can take it from here.
Right.
This
So
is her.
we went to this urgent care and I got an x-ray to see if it was broken. And so, right, they like do the whole blah, 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 take an x-ray of my finger. And they're like, oh yeah, look at that. It's broken. Which was stupid because it was literally in an L. Literally. And it was so dumb because the x-ray person was like, so, does your finger normally look like that? Or...
You're like, no, obviously my finger doesn't look like that.
I was like, this is the stupidest question I've ever heard. Like, just take the dang x-ray? What is going on? Right, so then I sit in there again for what feels like a very long amount of time for this whole x-ray business to happen, which was useless because of course it looks the way that it looks. Yeah. And then they come back and they're like, okay, so here's the deal. We can't actually reset your finger here because we're just an urgent care. But we can give you a referral to go to a hand specialist that opens at 5 p.m. What? Because it was like 1, 2.
Yeah.
We were trying to leave around 2 or
Yeah.
something to drive back to Colorado.
Yeah.
It was like, there was like a special exception. Like they would start taking walk-ins if you got there at 4 and you would have a better chance. But there's still like a 2-3 hour gap that we're like, what are we supposed to do?
It's ridiculous. And I was like, well, can you do like anything for me? I'm in so much pain and like it looks terrible. I don't like I it's my hand, right? Like I'm gonna try and be grabbing things. And they're like, oh yeah. So they like wrapped a little bit of gauze around like one of those like aluminum
The
pinchy
splints?
ones. Yeah. Just with it how it was. Like still turned up and everything at the end. And they wrapped some gauze around it and they're like, yeah, like just take some like Advil or something. And I was like, what? Okay. And so like I leave, Kade gets back, thank God, and we
He
go to a
comes back
gas
for
station to buy me some Advil. Little did we know that I'm dumb. So stupid. And I was like, ah yes, a box that says Advil. Grab. Purchase. It was Advil sinus.
I forgot about that.
I also forgot about that. So it's just not useful at all. And obviously, I'm a college freshman. I don't have anything helpful. I've got a box of plants and clothes. Like, what do you want from me?
So I take the Advil sinus and we wait 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I don't even. That's a whole like blackout period. I think we ate.
We
We
like-
got no, because we
Yeah, we
went
got-
to In-N-Out.
Oh,
Because I had wanted to go to In-N-Out because I was like, "There's In-N-Out here, Kiera. Can we go?" And you
It's
were like,
novel.
"It's overhyped. Let's not." And then I broke my finger, and you were like, "Do you want to go to In-N-Out?"
that's all I could do. Was offer in and out.
And I got a cup of ice to stick my finger in.
Because I think you had asked for it. You're like, can I get a cup of ice?
Just a cup of ice? Like, do you want water? I just want to stick my finger in it.
You don't understand. It's been a long day, and I don't have the time to explain to you what's happened. Just give me the cup of ice.
funny.
Yeah, so we ate, and then we were like, I guess we'll drive to this orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like a specialty hand place. I don't know.
I don't remember a single thing.
That's so funny. I'm
Oh,
sorry, Kate, but it's
Sarah
burned into
and
my
I
mind.
are so vividly aware of what happened in
you
this
guys were
story.
super aware. Of what's
Well,
going on.
because, like, and we got there, and I was like, I'm so nervous because COVID was happening, and I was like, I can't have either of you even come in the building.
Yeah.
Like, we had to call ahead and everything, and, like, you dropped me off at, like, a special door, and I, like, walked in, and, like, place was empty.
Yeah.
So it was wild. But anyways, I feel like I have to keep talking. It's just me because you guys weren't in there. But I go to this doctor person, and like this person's pretty funny, and I'm like, we're having a good time, telling the jokes. And they were like, okay, you have 3 options.
I remember this too.
I told Kade and Kiera this, and then I subsequently told everyone in my life this story because it was so funny. They were like, okay, you have 3 options. And since it was like the little tip of my finger, right? They were like, oh, little rainbow finger. They were like, first, we can just do nothing. And your finger will heal, and it'll just look like that. And I was like, we waited 2.5 hours for do nothing? Are you joking?
I know. Such a stupid option.
They were like, do you want to do that? And I was like, no, what are the other 2 options, please? And they were like, okay, we can push it down and straighten it out as best we can, and it'll hurt really badly, but it'll look fine, and then we'll put a splint on it, and you can go. And I was like, this, again, does not sound like a great option.
What's behind door number 3?
Can we hurry it along, please? I've already waited. And then they're like, okay, third option, we can numb your entire finger. You won't feel a thing in your finger for like the next 4 hours, and we can push it down. You won't feel it. We'll make it straight, and then we'll put a splint on it. And I was like, let's just leave it how it is, even an option.
And also, why was like the let's cause you mass amounts of pain to get to the same result? Also an option.
You have my insurance, right? Like, will it cost money to get it numbed? And they were like, no. Stupid. So anyways, I obviously chose option number 3 because they numbed my finger, pushed it down. I was like, yay, woo. Got a little cast thingy. It really even wasn't a cast. It was just another like splint. Yeah. And then I got in the car with Kade and Kiera.
And at this point, I don't know what kind of delusion we were still on. I was like, I think we can get like far. Like we just need to get out of here.
It was also like you had everything was already packed up.
Yeah. And I was like, we need to go. And we were hesitant to like get a hotel. I was like, do we try to like push forward and still make it? I think at this point we were like, ooh, we can't make it anymore.
Yeah, because it was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But we didn't have like a hotel reserved. So thankfully Sarah's parents like swooped in and were like, we're gonna get you a hotel.
Yeah.
You cannot do this. And so we're driving and our halfway stopping point is in Albuquerque. And state to state though, the laws had changed, or like the practices had changed. So we walk in and we're like, hi, we're here. This is our reservation. Please just let us sleep.
Yeah.
And we got there just past midnight. I remember it being like not quite 1 yet. It was like 12:30 probably. Something.
Kade
like that.
did all the driving.
No, Kiera
No,
drove too?
I drove.
Oh,
I
did
drove.
you? Never mind, I forgot.
I drove.
I didn't do anything.
after.
Yeah.
Sat
And
there
then
feeling
Sarah sat in the back seat and made jokes.
That's what I'm good for.
Yeah. And you're good for a lot of things, but sorry.
Kiera's like, pause. You're good.
Period. Okay. Glad we unpacked that. Continuing the story, they told us, they're like, oh my gosh, we had a new like law or like practice, whatever they're calling it, happen today where you only can stay in hotels in New Mexico if you are essentially traveling or like you're an essential worker kind of thing.
Right.
And at this point, I don't think we knew like what essential worker really meant in like the terms that we use in today's language. But we're like, we are essentially traveling. Like we have to get home.
We need to be in the place that we live, and we're not there.
And so there was a lot of like trepidation for them to hand over the keys.
Yeah.
But they did, and they were like, okay, we'll give you this. There's a high chance that you are going to be woken up at like 6 a.m. and told to leave and vacate the property. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Can we just like put our heads on something soft and like be at peace for a short amount of time? And so we get in. It all works out. Nobody knocks on our door. We're still able to leave at a good enough time the next day.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it was fairly smooth sailing.
Yeah,
Kade drove the whole way.
I drove
Yeah.
home, and then by
Thank
choice,
Thank
and yeah.
I asked, and then I was like, thank you. Thank you for just volunteering.
And like, mind you, at this point, Kiera's head is like swollen.
It's not so bad, but there is like a very clear welt.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have a black eye.
Yeah.
Because it was on the side of my...
We have a picture. We could post some visual content.
We're not going to do that
for the pod. No,
We're not
okay.
going to do that.
That's fine.
But that is that is when we realized that we would do anything to long distance friendship.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And it was like the best story of quarantine.
Gosh, so memorable. What a
And also,
kickoff.
the best time to break your finger, because like everything was online. I didn't have to write for any of my classes. I was just those discussion posts.
Yeah.
You know, it was super nice, super nice. Yeah,
But-
only my parents had to hear me complain. I will say it was so funny because it was like one of those deals where I called my parents and I was like, remember this trip that I convinced you to let me go on, and like it was really hard because you were afraid that like something bad would happen with COVID. It's so funny because
Nothing bad happened with
COVID,
but
something bad happened. I broke my finger. But yeah, so it was very funny. And I think that's it
yeah.
on that story.
What were your other stories? What was?
Well, I kind of wanted to tell the story about how we snuck into that.
This is a short story. Short
Yeah.
story.
Wait. Let's do a different location
Okay.
and we'll come back to
Okay,
it.
sure.
But the thing is, in Nebraska, there's slightly, like, we generally have a good time in Nebraska where not crazy things happen.
Yeah.
But
It's true.
are you remembering any specific?
I feel like the thing is that I just had a good time in Nebraska. Like, it was we went out for your birthday.
Yeah.
And like, we auditioned for The Amazing Race.
Oh my god,
that's
that's,
so
a
true.
great one. Okay, so Kate and I would always drive down to visit Sarah. Sometimes they would fly down to Tucson because it's much further, but it's only how many hours is it
To drive?
from Nebraska? From Colorado to Nebraska to drive?
Colorado to Nebraska is 7 hours.
7 hours. So yeah, it's very doable, easy day. And Kate and I would always go because Sarah was obviously already there.
Yep.
And I was very into, and still am into, reality television, game shows.
Yeah.
And I don't know why this is something that I really wanted to do, but I was like, Kate is going to be a great Amazing Race partner because he's more fit than I am, and he likes eating more food than I do. And he's really funny.
Ladies and gents, the ideal Amazing Race partner.
And then
More
I just have the gumption to...
determination and,
Here's a plot.
and
He's
puzzle solving skills.
What if we did this?
Yeah, and then I just, make other people also do the things that I want to do.
Amazing.
And so, Amazing Race.
Yeah.
So, Kate and I filmed a really
We just auditioned. It was really creative, and the fact that we didn't get chosen really hurts my heart because I feel like there was nobody else that could possibly have made a video like ours.
We had a whole skit.
We did
Super unique.
multiple skits.
We did cartwheels.
There was a dinosaur.
I think you pretended to punch me.
Yeah.
I said, you had to take that thief and pushed you.
And then you ran away.
And I ran away.
And Sarah fell to the ground. She made a very special cameo.
I did.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, but it was just like good times, and like
Yeah.
we went to like little market, or we did the we just
went
had a
to
good
the garden.
time.
Valas.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. You guys. The best pumpkin patch to call it a pumpkin patch is really to simplify it down. It's
Yeah.
like calling a pie
That's rude.
like a snack. I don't know. That was a really
baked good?
bad metaphor. I'm gonna try again. What's a better metaphor? It's like calling a banana split ice cream sundae just ice cream.
Okay.
Okay.
No?
I'm
That
here-
was still
Yeah.
a bad metaphor.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. All you need to know is that this pumpkin patch, well, there is a patch and there is pumpkins, is really more like if you had a fall Hallmark movie and Disneyland have a love child and put it in Nebraska. It's amazing. It has rides. It has tons of haunted houses. It has multiple places to get food. You can chuck apples. You can shoot apples. You can chuck pumpkins.
You can get little baby cookies in a cone.
so good.
You can watch the
cookie
pigs
cone
race.
place. Yes, the pig
We
tucky
did watch
derby.
the Big Turkey Derby.
It's so fun, you
Oh.
guys. It's so fun. It's getting to the point where it's like as expensive as going to Disney World, but
Oof,
still
rough.
worth it.
Yeah.
It's still worth it.
And the best part about that is I think Kade and I had no idea what to expect. We were like, okay, let's go to a
No
pumpkin
idea.
patch. We've done these before.
And then it was an event.
That was the same trip as the goats.
It was.
Wow.
I also got to meet all of your friends because it
Red
was
was red.
one of your friends' birthdays, and we had the surprise.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
that's
god,
what
that
I
was
wasn't
when I
there
was a
for.
residence assistant. We went to Fuzzy's Tacos
Yeah.
and I like just brought Kade and it was super
Yeah.
fun. And like
And it was also somebody else's birthday.
Yeah.
And we had to hide in like one of the little common rooms, but there was no space to hide, so I was just like
Yes.
behind a sofa. And I was like, you don't know me.
You know me.
That's you both were there for that one though.
I was?
You were. Do you
I
remember?
wasn't there for the birthday party.
You weren't there for the birthday
'Cause-
party at Fuzzy Tacos, but you were there when we hid in the room. Do you remember that? Because that was the first time that I saw my ex-boyfriend, since he had broken up with me.
Yeah.
And so it was weird because like we were there and I was like there for my friend and I was like happy birthday, but like at the same time I also just had my two friends who were being like really good emotional support
Yeah.
people.
Well, and there was a lot of RAs, but there weren't like a ton. I feel like there was
Yeah.
maybe 8 of us all together that were like hiding in this room.
Yeah.
And then 3 of them were like us. For this person that Kate and I do not know.
Yeah.
Not-
No, it's true. It
And
was
so we
funny.
just we
You
like
filled out the room.
yeah,
We
we
did,
like
yeah.
we were just the
We were
extras,
extras.
in that storyline.
so
But like
funny.
we helped like fill balloons and like put decorations out, and they were like, surprise!
And we made cookies. That was when we first tried making macarons.
Yeah, it didn't work that well.
It did not work well at all. I'm actually pretty good at making them now.
And we
Yeah.
and we did paintings.
Oh,
We did the
yeah.
paintings there.
They're really cute.
Yeah.
That was so fun. That was a good trip.
Yeah, that was like a solid.
The thing is, when we go to Nebraska, we always find fun things for us to do, like activities to do together.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of times when we're going to Arizona, we're doing things like going to places.
Yeah.
Instead of just like,
Activities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And going to places is sometimes more difficult than it is
than other things.
Yeah. Can I tell a story now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kiera was like, it's so fun because in Tucson there are these apartment buildings that have pools and hot tubs on like
The roof.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been to like southern Arizona campuses, most apartment buildings have pools because it's just so hot. You can't really do that much other stuff outside. So I was like, oh my gosh, my friends are going to be here. I'm going to take them to a rooftop pool because it is so fun. But I also am very frugal, and we know this. I'm not living at one of these very nice apartments with a rooftop pool. I am living in a very nice apartment that has just a ground pool. And I was like, no. This is not going to do.
ground pool is not good enough for Kade and Sarah.
We must go to one of these other high rises that have these pools. And I had a lot of different friends who lived in these buildings. And I thought, oh, it's not going to be that difficult. I'll just reach out and text them like, hey, please let me in.
Yeah.
Not that many people texted me back.
Yeah.
Or they couldn't do it. Like, it was very last minute as well when I was like, let's do this. But we just snuck up
Yeah.
We just followed someone on an elevator.
Yeah.
It was particularly easy the first time around. But it was one of those things where like you also have to use your ID to click the elevator buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So first we snuck in the building. Second, we snuck into an elevator that someone was able to, and we were like, oh hey, like, and we stood on the opposite end from the buttons. We were like, oh, will you push the top floor?
Yeah,
for
like
us?
I totally live here. Oh
Like
yeah,
the
we're
pool
just going.
floor. Yeah,
We're going upstairs.
will you just click
No
the
biggie.
button for us? Thanks. That's so great. And then we had to wait until someone was either leaving the pool or going into the pool to get to the outside part because that was also locked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we waited for a really long time.
Yeah.
We waited for ages for someone to be able to open the pool door to the rooftop. And I feel like it was like 30 minutes, and we're like, oh, we're gonna wait 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna give up.
Yeah.
Thankfully, someone did end up coming, and we were like, yay, we made it! But of course, there's a but.
There's a but. It was really beautiful, and the hot tub was not hot.
It was like
And also not
freezing.
lit.
There were
Yeah.
no heat.
So this was
There were
not
no
the apartment
lights.
building to sneak up into, but like, how could we have known
Literally.
that this was a bad pool?
Right. Yeah, so we like dipped some toes in and then just looked at the lights.
Yeah, it was more of a
yeah.
view.
Which was pretty.
Yeah, we had a nice view.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lay on the ground and look up at the stars.
This is gonna be great.
So beautiful. And I did that, and then we were like, let's leave. And I was like, yeah, let's go. And so then we left, and we went down through the locked door into the inside part, down the elevator that also has the
We got
key
back to
card
the
lock.
car.
We got in a car with some random people. Do you remember this? Who were we with?
They were probably my friends.
Okay, but you didn't know them that well.
No.
I remember you explaining this.
But I actually think it was my car.
Okay.
Because when we got into my car, we realized that something was missing.
Yeah. So I had been wearing my disc store sweatpants. No free advertising. Let's talk about getting some money. Love those sweatpants. Great. Good pockets. Pockets that a phone could fit in, really. You know? But pockets, some might say, don't work very well when you lay down on the ground on top of a building's rooftop.
Yeah.
And so my phone fell out. Long story short. And there are no lights up there, like Kiera said, so I did not notice.
Yes.
Till we were all the way gone.
Let's remember that we did not have access to this building, and I didn't really have a friend who lived in this building.
Right.
I just knew we could sneak into it. So I am like racking my brain, and I have to ask a friend to connect me to another friend that lives in this building because we have to get back in. That was
And
the me not knowing.
We couldn't go the next morning because my flight was the next morning.
Yeah,
We
so-
had to get this phone tonight.
Yeah.
And so thankfully this other girl, her name's Nicole, thank you still, she answers and she lets us in, and it's like pretty easy to get back in after we had to wait to go
Yeah.
through all of these avenues of people and then have her actually come down. But we go back up, Sarah finds her phone.
Well, no, because we had to ask this random woman to open the pool door for us.
Yeah, because we like forgot about.
Yeah. So we're just like waiting for people to like come out of the elevator or something. I don't even know how we
You
found
know
this
what
woman.
it was? Because the first time that we got to the pool area, we used the stairs.
Oh.
And then the second time we thought because we were using the elevator, we wouldn't need another key card.
Yeah.
And yeah, we still needed a key card, and we still had
Terrible stuff.
issues getting out again.
Yeah, no, it was very embarrassing. And like Kira's like frustrated with me, but more so just like, we need to get this done now, like sort of thing. And I was like, thank you, Kira. But we got my phone, and we did. Yeah, no, it was just like it was wild. Cause it was like, wow.
I was just hanging out in the car. I was like, y'all. I mean, once we got back, I was like, you guys were like, oh, we lost your phone, and I was like, I don't remember what the conversation was about going back up there, but I was like,
You're like, I am
I guess
safely here.
I'm not. I think I was with the car. I think I was there
Yeah.
just so that we wouldn't get towed.
You are.
And so
a
I
car
was
guy.
like, okay, I guess I'll sit in the front
Kate's
seat.
job is just
and,
car.
and so that they don't get angry at us.
Yeah. But again, another happy ending to the story.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it all worked out.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
But
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah. There's just a lot of shenanigans that can happen. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember when you guys came up and visited me while I was working at camp, and then I left my phone in your car, Kiera, and you drove all the way back down to Berthoud?
Yeah.
And I had to Facebook message one of you because I didn't know your phone numbers. And I had to get on someone else's phone and log into Facebook Messenger to be like, hey, I left my phone in your car, and I know you live an hour away from me from right now, but this was in high school. No, it wasn't.
No, this was just like it was a summer thing in
Yeah.
college, summer job.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, and it worked out, and you got your phone back, but man, Sarah is
tough.
not good at
Phones.
retaining her objects.
Items. Yeah. I've been doing really good lately, though.
I've
You'd be
been doing
proud of me.
worse.
Grown?
I've been doing worse.
Yeah.
I've been.
Did you hear this story at the party, Kate?
No, I
Oh
was
my
out of it.
gosh.
I was.
Ugh, I
journaling,
don't even know.
So funny.
So this also has a loose connection to the Jello shot story that we told last episode, but I don't know if it's worth. I'll just try to give you the Cliff's Notes version of it. Essentially, last year, at around this time for my birthday, I was new to Seattle and I was in the process of making Jello shots for my birthday and also trying to get this new dress. And I wanted to get a dress to wear to the party, and that was going to be my activity for the day. But on the way back from getting the dress, I was like, oh my goodness, I don't have my bus pass or my wallet. Shit.
Darn.
Darn. Like, I went back in the changing room and then like had to beg the person. I was like, please let me on this bus. I don't know where my bus pass is, but I need to get home and I have all these things. And she let me get on. But the issue was I still didn't have the stuff that I needed, so I checked every single bus that passed the stop for 2 hours straight. And like at the time I was noticing the faces. Halfway through they're like, oh my gosh, we did find a wallet, and they like pull it up and it's not mine, and I was like, oh, this sucks. But then finally around the hour 2 mark, mind you, the buses come like every 10 minutes, so I've checked like 10 to 12 buses. I've
many
set
buses.
timers and would be making the Jello shot iterations, because remember, we had one silicone mold. If you don't know the story, you gotta go watch the past episode. But I'm making these Jello shots and then like running out my door every 10 minutes to check if the bus is there and they have my key card or my wallet. No one did. The bus driver that I saw for the first time like came around finally after the 2 hours. That's why I stopped, and just looked at me and saw that I was still checking. They're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. It's just not here. And so I was really sad. Filled out a lost and found report, and then I did get it back. Like, the next Monday. They weren't open over the weekend, so unfortunately I didn't have it during the weekend, but my credit cards were still there, my cash was still there, and my student ID, which is my bus pass.
Nice.
So it all worked out.
That's on Seattle being full of good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that was not the end of this story.
Oh, shoot.
Because this year, a week before my birthday, I was helping a friend do like matching. We were just like hanging out and trying to do some work together. But we had ridden the bus home, and a minute or two to getting home, I was like, shoot, where's my phone? It's not around here. We're calling it. We're doing everything. I'm logging to find my iPhone, and it's not happening. And I'm like, oh my god, I must have left it on the bus. So we do this whole saga again, and we're waiting at the bus stop for these buses to turn around. And I'm asking every single bus driver. This time, We only sat out there for 40 minutes because I remembered which bus. Like, there was so much time in between the first, wallet story and when I lost it and when I realized I lost it. There was more time because I was thrifting.
Yeah.
This was pretty immediate, so we knew which bus it was on, and we were kind of tracking that bus as it went. But yeah, I'd be like, hi, excuse me, is there a wallet on this bus? And I didn't recognize any of the bus drivers. We gave up after we realized that it wasn't gonna come around, and I was like, dang it, it's a Friday again, and that means I won't have my phone till Monday if somebody turns it in. But again, another happy ending. I walk upstairs and it's on the table. It's on the side table, which granted was very obstructed from view. But we had called my phone so many times.
It's just so funny because I was doing like be alone time in my room and I hear Kiera like scream, "Oh my gosh, I found it!" And like when I heard you say it was on the table, I was assuming that it was one of the like far away, like not often used tables, like where the plants are. You know, no. It was literally like on the end table by the couch.
Yeah, but it was on the end table of the side of the couch that we used less.
Okay.
But I had so many people looking for it and so many people calling it. Like, yes, it was mostly me, but it was also on everybody else.
It was also so funny because, so this story was told to me first by Joanna, which was the friend that Kiera was supposed to be getting work done
Shout
with.
out Joanna.
Shout out Joanna. You're the best.
You really are.
And Joanna telling the story was so funny because Joanna also didn't have a phone during this whole ordeal because Kiera had completely taken over Joanna's phone, was using it to call her own phone, but then also using it to FaceTime another friend while
Shout
at the
out
bus
Liz.
stop.
Because we were trying to get work done while still waiting at the
Kiera's
bus
like,
stop.
don't worry, we haven't lost any time.
It's fine. But the sad part is now that this has happened twice in like the same month, like yearly. Like, I don't want this to become a pattern.
Oh, it's gonna happen next time, I'm so sure.
October
can
next
see
year,
it.
I have to be so careful with all of my
Just don't
belongings.
ride any buses.
But yeah, thanks for letting me tell that tangent story. It does segue, it connects the bridges between some old stories and now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Anyways,
glad we went over that.
yeah. I think we should ask Kade like 2 or 3 questions.
Ooh, I like that.
About us.
Oh,
Or about himself.
you. Do you want like my perspective?
Well, like, I don't know. I just think it'd be kind of fun to have. Do you know how you always ask those questions where it's like,
Oh yeah.
what kind of ice cream?
Yeah,
I think
I
it'd
like
be fun
them.
to do like
Okay.
one of those because I don't know. I associate questions like that with
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
And you're here, and I think it'd be fun for the pod.
Yeah.
A little closer,
Good
maybe.
little closer. Okay.
A little closey close. Yeah.
So,
Not to put you on the spot.
think of things right now.
Oh, I
Do
was.
you wanna take a
I was like,
cut?
I thought you already had a question idea
No,
already.
no.
You want me to come up
Yep,
with something?
I do.
Okay.
You were the guest of honor.
Like, what's a super simple one?
Or not simple.
Ooh. If you had to, well, as music people,
Okay.
if you had to describe yourself as an instrument,
Ooh.
because
What
like,
would you be?
what kind? That's got a lot of layers. What kind
It
of
does.
music are you? What kind of?
Oh.
Are you blown? No.
Are you strummed?
Are you strummed?
Fingered, if you will. No. No. Sarah. Why would you make that joke?
Are you brass? You got a nice brass? You got some nice wood?
There's so many innuendos.
Oh.
No, but I like the idea of thinking about not only like the sound of the instrument, but what kind of music.
Yeah.
Because like an electric guitar versus like a piccolo, different
Yeah.
music.
Like a mandolin?
Like a mandolin? Did you know?
Did you know that a mandolin is an instrument and also a kitchen utensil?
I didn't.
Utensil?
I never knew that.
And it's a fun
Tell me
fact.
don't.
Please don't.
But anyways, yeah.
You know.
I guess a better one is like we make it about each other. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what
What
do
would you
okay.
be?
Okay. What do you think Sarah is? And then Sarah can say what she thinks she is.
The instrument I'm thinking of is a trumpet, but I realize how the music and band situations see trumpets. They generally look down on them, and I've been told this by Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not
not that
choosing.
we're looking down on you. We just feel like you think that you're looking down from your lofty place in the world on us, and we're like, that's rude.
Well, the thing is, at first I was thinking a piano,
Oh.
because
I love a
pianos
piano.
really do a lot,
piano.
and they're always you can always hear them. I feel like for the most part,
I'm loud.
they're pretty melodic, but sometimes they can blend in so much that they're a background noise, and I feel like trumpets are never background noise. Trumpets are the main attraction, so that's
Wow.
why I switched it up.
Nice.
But
I appreciate that.
yeah, and you have like the known and notable melodies. You're not the harmonies. You're the
Aw.
melody.
Oh,
So,
I've already cried today, so I'm not going to again.
but yeah, aside from the stigma the trumpet has,
I appreciate that.
yeah.
I do.
I feel. I don't know if you're gonna follow what I'm saying.
Okay.
You're a keytar.
Oh my god, yeah.
Wow.
Because I just
So
feel
fun.
like I can picture you as a keytar, like a talking keytar with googly eyes
And stickers.
and stickers, and it's like fun colors.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're
That's way
Jesse.
better than mine.
I think that's super fun.
Yeah.
That's oh wow. I would love to own a guitar. Okay.
Putting
what do I
that on
see
the
for my?
list.
What do I see? I don't know. I was thinking of something like I don't know why. I was just thinking of something like that was slightly homemade. You know, like a jug with a stick in it and then like a string. Doing,
Why?
doing, I don't know. That's just what I was
Just
thinking
because?
of. I don't know. I have no idea. That was just like me as an instrument. And then I was like, simple,
Yeah.
homemade. I have no idea.
Farm girl.
I know. I was like, I am rural. Doing, doing, doing. I'm really like anyways.
She's kind of a city girl.
I mean like I'm here.
Comparatively to us,
Yeah.
she's a farm girl.
Yeah. It's true. It's all about who you're with, really.
It's all relative.
I own some Wrangler jeans. Do I own Miss Me jeans? No. That's just some denim play for you guys. Okay, so Kade.
Moving forward.
I think.
Moving it along.
What do you think Kade is, Kiera?
I'm not going first this time.
Okay.
I don't know. I need to check.
I don't know why I'm like envisioning some sort of percussion. Because like, but okay, you don't
What are
really
the
love that.
what
No,
are
I'm
the
just. I just want to know.
drums that it's the drums that you would hear of the Little Mermaid. That's like do 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 do.
I like the
Oh,
marimba.
like the steel drums?
Steel
Steel
drums.
drums.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's fun.
That's
That's
what
fun.
you'd be, because you do have a very bright and bubbly personality. But sometimes if you don't hit it correctly, it's
If you hit Kade in the wrong, just kidding.
but no, more like if Kate is hungry.
We've been trying really hard this trip to actually feed Kade.
And we've been doing a poor job still.
Well, I feel like we've done better than years past. Trips past.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I mean,
Are you
I think I've also
hungry?
just been more positive on this trip, so it hasn't been as like much of an issue.
That's fair.
Like it hasn't just been like me being like, you know.
You're never
I don't
like
feel like you often, if you're feeling that way on the in, I don't think that Kiera and I perceive it a lot on the out.
Okay.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I was just feeling percussion in some way,
Yeah.
but I like the marimba because
The
you do
steel
still
tone.
have melody in you, and I do feel like it's very like danceable,
Yeah.
and I feel like you are very
playful.
danceable.
It's play. Yeah.
It is. It is
Yeah.
playful.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
I mean, I can.
Well, it's
I
my
see-
opinion, but you're on board.
Yeah.
Yep, I said percussion, so
It's my. Yeah.
No, it was a group thing.
Yeah.
What do you see yourself
I feel like
as?
I feel like that's solid, or just like a recorder.
But specifically the third grade recorder.
Specifically,
The one that
the,
looks like it's been
ones
chewed on a little bit.
that
and
definitely
you're
been
like,
chewed on. Just
With
a
the
little
beads
bit.
that denote
And
what
the
level
beads.
you are.
What kinds of beads do you have as your recorder self, Kade?
Yeah.
Oh, I have two.
Two
beads.
white and yellow.
But then I also have like randomly black. Like it's like I have two. Like I could not get brown belt, but I could get black belt, and I could get the one in red. Like I was
That's
like,
so funny.
I just could not figure
The
out.
beads thing is not a shared experience for me.
Yeah.
Well, how our school did it, I think we got recorders multiple years, but it started in third grade. And you would get your little recorder, and it would have a string that goes around your neck. And if you completed like a song passage correctly, like you blew the notes in correctly, like hot cross buns, 1 a penny. I remember
Two
doing
penny hot cross buns. Yeah.
I remember doing it very vividly. You got a bead.
Nice.
And like that was the white belt bead because that's the easiest song.
Yeah.
And then you get harder and harder.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I mean, I can see that too.
Yeah. I just side note, my recorder from when I was in the music class was pink, and everyone else's was white or black, and I was like,
Why did you have a pink one? Did you
I
have to
already
buy
had
one?
one.
Oh.
No, my family's musical. We have a lot of instruments.
Yes,
I actually
it's
still
true.
have that recorder somewhere at my parents' house.
I'm sure I have my recorder somewhere. It's a relic.
Yep.
Let's
Okay.
see.
For Kiera,
I'm like, I need something that can both be, that's like so many different things. Like I feel a multi-purpose instrument.
like a one-man band backpack.
Like I don't.
That's what one-man band sounds like.
Maybe like there's I don't want to give you like a basic instrument, but I'm also like
I
I feel
know.
like a piano just has so many.
It has so much
like,
range.
It has so much like it can be fast, it can be slow, it can depends on who you're with.
I was thinking of a
And
I was thinking of like a
Like-
plucking instrument.
oh
Yeah.
like
Like a harp.
that's
yeah.
very
That's a lot of
elegant.
strings.
Like a harp or that is a lot of strings.
So,
Got a lot going on.
maybe
Kiera.
like a petite harp, like an arm
Like a-
harp,
Like a liar?
like a lyre.
Yeah. Kira's a liar.
It's a liar.
You're
Don't
a
trust
liar.
her. She's
You're
a
a liar.
liar. I think it's a leer.
Lyre, maybe.
Really?
I don't know.
Lyra.
But I think it's pronounced leer.
Oh, that's
could be.
embarrassing.
That is. You should
I don't
be
think anyone
embarrassed.
ever pronounces that lyre.
I think it's leer. Yeah, I don't know why. You just seem like a plucky.
Like I was gonna say, it needs to be something that can be elegant, but also can have like
Ooh.
a
yeah.
wild side. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I feel like
The harp would do that.
The harp.
My favorite
definitely has
instrument
the
when I
elegant
want to party
part, but
is
I don't know
the
about the wild side. No, I hear you.
that's why I said
though.
piano, because I was like, I feel like you can do so much with a piano. Maybe like
Yeah.
just a keyboard instead of a guitar. Just a keyboard.
I'm the walking version of you.
All
You
I
gotta
do-
take care of sitting down. Me,
But, like,
I'm going on a
you can
trip.
also like I feel like a guitar, like you don't, it's very specific. And, like I feel like you can
it's
do
like kind of silly.
a little bit, you can still do silly stuff with the keyboard, but it's also a little bit higher class.
Kira's just the classier version of me.
I mean, you can take a guitar and put it on the ground and
to
play
be fair,
it,
yeah, no, I
You
understand
could be
what you're
classy if you
saying.
wanted to,
but you're not always.
but most of the time.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I will say that this is like the first time I've had a conversation about a guitar, maybe ever. But it's like wild because I went to this concert with our other roommate, and like that was what, last weekend? Yeah, that was a week ago, and they played a guitar, and I was like, wow. This is so fun. We should get one of those.
It's just showing up in your life a lot.
Yeah, literally,
It
right?
is.
Because I like don't have a conscious memory of seeing a guitar being played in real life before then. So
Yeah.
like, October is the month for Ketars and Kira's birthday.
And your Ketar, like, showing up in your life is like plain Greek yogurt for me in my life. It's so absurd
The amount of
how
conversation
many conversations it's entered into. But I felt the need to bring it up again because now it's a bit.
Oh, so what kind of yogurt would you be if you
Oh.
were a type of yogurt?
If I were a type of yogurt,
It was really a joke, but we can also pursue
I'm
it.
gonna pursue this. I mean, this is gonna be fast. It can
Okay.
be. It doesn't have to take
Yeah.
that long. No explanation.
Yeah.
I think vanilla bean.
Nice. Nice.
You're
That's it. Okay.
You're like other
I
girls.
think you'd be like a pumpkin.
I did think of pumpkin. I was like, am I like pumpkin? And I was like, am I seasonal?
You're not seasonal. Pumpkin's good all year round. People just are weird.
No, I was gonna be like, I'm kind of like mixed berry. Like I'm not. I'm just. There's a lot of flavors, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
Yeah. Fair. I like it.
yeah.
I like it. I think I'd be like a honey.
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 Yeah.
I was
honey.
thinking lime.
Lime like went through my mind, and then I was like, I don't know if I'm that tart.
No, it's not that. It's not that you're tart. It's because
Maybe key
lime
lime.
is. Oh yeah, key lime. Also, lime is not like a completely basic.
Yeah. it
Like
has some-
flavor?
it has some
Well, I
depth.
don't think you're basic.
Well, I wasn't reflecting on me.
Okay.
I'm talking about you.
It's reflecting on.
I don't know vanilla bean though.
But it's better than vanilla.
That's so fair.
It's
You're
it's
right.
like you.
It's like the classy version of vanilla.
So I'm just really classy.
That's what. Like when I think of Kiera, I'm like
Class.
classy. And,
Yeah.
And I
Have
feel
you
like
ever seen Kiera wear words?
no.
Would a
I-
classy person wear words? No.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But key lime is just like fun and bright, and also not your average.
Yeah.
thanks. I
You're
appreciate
above
that.
average.
Well, yeah, I think you're above average too. I think Kiera would be birthday cake flavored. What? Because it's her birthday. No, that's weird. Happy birthday. No, just kidding. It's a singing podcast.
Yeah.
I was gonna let you
Anyways.
talk for as long as you wanted to.
Because it is Kiera's birthday, we probably should wrap this up and
Yeah.
get to some festivitating. Not that we didn't already festivitate a lot earlier this weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should wrap it up.
We wanted to make sure Kade got on a very special
number one fan.
podcast episode.
First fan. Kade, you went out there and you posted about us.
I did.
And it really
Really?
doing it for the team. It really meant a lot. It really did. But anyways.
But thank you so much for joining us
Yeah.
for episode 4
enjoyed
of
it.
Arguably Speaking.
Woo!
Long distance friendshipping. Trust me, we got plenty more stories where these come.
Yeah.
There could be a part 2, 3, or 4, and Kade will be here for them.
Sounds good. I'm ready.
But yeah, in the meantime, follow our socials. We have an Instagram and give us a 5-star rating on Spotify.
Yeah.
We have 4 ratings already.
And
Let's
they're
bump
all
it up.
great.
I was one of them.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
I was also one of them.
I was also one of them. to that one
There's
person
no
out
way.
there who rated us, we love you.
Thanks.
We appreciate you.
But we post new podcasts every Wednesday, and we're really trying to keep that alive.
Yes.
So we will see you next time on
Arguably Speaking.